let's talk about money. And if you watch all the way till the end of the video, there is a bonus tip, which is very important. So yeah, let's talk about how to manifest more money. Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we're going to talk about manifesting money. We all love it. We can all have it because there's abundance in the world. So if you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell icon below because I do put out new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, each one of them with the intention that you're going to create something wonderful in your life. So let's dive right into talking about money. Oh, by the way, if you would like coaching, we do have some excellent coaches available. Check out the link in the description below. All of the coaches that are at Create Your Future, Denise, Erica, and Megan, they are actually trained by me, so they know what they're doing, and they're all very successful. So they're amazing. Okay, so how to manifest money. I'm going to share with you what I did because I did come from, a past where I had terrible self-talk about money and just a terrible relationship with money. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I actually sat down and I looked at money as a relationship. And I said to myself, I'm like, you know what is my relationship about money? What is my self-talk about money? And I started to realize that my self-talk about money was actually quite terrible. I would be worried and have anxiety that I wasn't going to be able to pay a bill. I'd be constantly like checking how much my paycheck would be and adding up my hours to see if it was going to be able to cover my bills. And then I'd be worried, right? And also I would go places to buy things and I'd be like, I don't have enough money. I could never afford that. Like all these things were just like absolutely blocking my relationship with money. So what I did was I sat down one day and I said, okay, look at, you know what? I need to dump out all my limiting beliefs about money. And I did. I wrote them all out. Pardon me. And I was like, well, you know what? Money is evil. There's a shortage of money. There's lack. And I just went through every limiting belief that I had about money. And then I turned around and I started making intentions. So I said, no, you know what? There's an abundance of money. Money, you have to work hard for it. No, people get money for doing things they love all the time. Okay. So I went through all of these things and created my new list. And then, at that point, I had to apply it to what I actually wanted in my life. So the first thing is I wanted to be out of debt. So I started creating the intention that I have zero debt. Okay. And I also had to change the way I looked at credit cards. Okay. So I used to look at credit cards like they were a means of having money when you didn't have money, which was actually a lack mindset. So now I look at credit cards as a way to save money. Okay. So if I'm, say, for instance, I've got a credit card that gives me like air miles. Well, if I get 95 air miles, I get like, $10 off. So if I use my credit card to pay for stuff and get air miles and pay off my credit card every month, then I'm actually making money through the air miles. Okay. So you want to start looking at credit cards as a tool to help you if you are going to use them and not as something to help you to get out of debt. Okay. Or to help you to spend money when you don't have it. Okay. So we want to change the way that we look at credit cards. Okay. The other thing that I had to start doing was taking a look, and when I saw something on, TV, like a nice car, I'd say to myself, I can afford that. Okay. Same thing when I was like, someone was talking about buying a condo. I'd be like, yes, you know what? I'm going to be able to afford that and a house. I can afford everything I want. So starting to actually claim when I saw things that I liked that I could actually afford it and I could actually have it. Okay. Even though I wasn't able to at this moment. Okay. Now, the other thing that was really, really, really important to me was to start to see abundance in the world, okay? To start taking a look around and going, you know what? There's lots of money out there and it's going to start flowing my way, okay? That was probably the one biggest thing, because if you feel like money is scarce, then it's going to be scarce. If you say that money is in abundance and everyone's got lots of it, then everyone's going to have it. So taking a look at money like it's actually a relationship, okay? Because you do have a relationship with money. Okay. So taking a look at what your self-talk is, I deserve to have lots of money. There's nothing wrong with having lots of money. In fact, if I have lots of money, I can actually help people. Okay. People want me to be rich. Okay. So start creating these intentions. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to make lots of money without working hard. Okay. So really start to create them. Now, here's where we get into the nitty-gritty. Okay. So when you're creating all this positive self-talk, okay, so you're going to be in one of a couple different categories. So you may have a job with an employer, okay, you may have your own business, or you may just want to manifest random money, okay? So no matter which one you choose, you've got to make sure that your self-talk in those areas is actually, you know, pretty good, okay, in your mental diet. So like, for instance, an employer, let's say, for instance, you have a job. Well, if you've got the story that your employer's cheap and never pays you enough and never gives raises, well, then that's going to block money to come through your employer. So you want to, again, clean up your self-talk about your job, or intend that you find a higher paying job. You know, same thing with your business. So not only is you have your own business, is your self-talk about money dependent, but your self-talk about the value you give to people is also very important. So if you have a business, you're going to want to say things like, you know what, my service is definitely worth every penny that I charge. And people tell me that I actually charge less than most people, and that I'm totally worth it, that I change people's lives, you know? So, you know, take a look at what your self-talk is about your business, and, you know, start creating intentions that, you know, whatever widget you sell or service you sell, that people actually feel like it's a good value and they love buying your service or your product from you. Now, if you're looking for random money, you have to start having a mental diet that, yes, it's possible money can randomly come to you through the lottery and all other places. So self-talk like, you know, it's easy to win the lottery, people win all the time, you know, things like that. Also with the lottery, once I started doing it, it's actually so cool, is every time I like buy a lottery ticket, I say to myself in that moment, I'm like, this is a winner, this is a winner, this is a winner. And I started intending that every lottery ticket was just like a free ticket, free ticket. And that started happening a lot. So I was like, okay, everything's a free ticket. And I said, listen, kick that up a notch, right? Now I've been winning $20 on every single ticket and buying another ticket. Now they're going to be $50 winners. Okay. So, you know, really start to put your self-talk in place and convince yourself that it's possible to win through the lottery. You know, one thing that was really funny is last year, someone for Christmas, my birthday, bought me like a pack of 40 scratchies, like, you know, the scratch and wins. Anyways, I scratched, and I had this story about those scratch and wins that, you know, I never went on those like scratch and wins, right? Like the bingo and like the crossword, right? So anyway, so I had these 40 scratchies, and I scratched every single one of them, and not one of them was a winner. I went to this lottery booth, okay, just to have him double check. Maybe I didn't read the ticket right. And he checked every single one, and he was like, they were all losers. And he said to me, he's like, that's really strange. He's like, I check lottery tickets every single day. And he's like, it's really odd that there would be 40 in a row that aren't winners. And I was like, yeah. Like, I totally have this story that I never went on scratch and wins. And like, even the guy checking the ticket was like, this is so odd. I've never seen this. And I'm like, surprise, that's my story about scratch and wins, right? So, you know, and in that moment I was like, duh, Amanda, you know, so, but you know, the one thing that, you know, I want to make clear though is like, for instance, you know, I'm really good at making money through business, you know, but not so great at scratch and wins. Now, does that mean I have a money block? Well, no, I just have a money block with scratch and wins, not with anything else, not with like, you know, the 649 Lotto Max or making money through a business or anything like that, right? Just those scratchies, which, you know, not a huge deal. I'm not a huge fan of them. They sort of make a mess, but whatever, right? So, you know, my point is though, is, you know, you may have a block in one area to have money flow to you, but you may not have a block in other areas. Okay. So like for me, is it worth it for me to intend that those little scratch and wins are always going to be $1 million winners? Well, no, because A, I don't really buy them, and B, I don't care, because I do make money in other ways. Right. So it's always a question of, you know, the beliefs that you have about something. You know, do you want to take the time to turn around? Sure, I can turn around that those little scratch and wins are always winners, but I mean, first of all, I don't buy them. I don't like them. Is it worth my time? No. It's more worth my time to start intending, you know, I win that 50,000 on the Lotto Max, or, you know, to put more intentions towards my business and the other, you know, revenue streams that I do have going on, right? So, It's always the question, you know, that reminds me, stock market, right? So with a stock market, again, you know, the money that flows in, because it's tied to a company, right? You've got to, you know, everyone as you pushed out, you can create that companies, you know, say and do certain things to raise their stocks. And then, you know, that will have the money flow in. Things like, you know, I always sell and buy stocks, you know, at the right time. I'm very good at the stock market. I know how to read, you know, the stock market. You know, all the companies I invest in are very successful. And if they're not, I know when to sell, you know, and I have a great strategy with that. So, you know, you want to create those intentions around what you create. So basically what I'm saying is that when you manifest money, it isn't just like money flows to me. You also got to watch where the story that you have, either with your employer or with your business or with, you know, the lottery or with like the stock market. You've got to watch the story that you have around that as well, because they go hand in hand. Okay. So unless money is falling out of the sky, okay, which I haven't seen it yet, but it might, you know, you want to make sure that wherever the stream or wherever it's coming from, that you've got a story. Because if you say, well, look, you know what, I make money easily and effortlessly, and I always get raises at work, but yet you've got a story that your boss is stingy and doesn't do it, then those raises aren't going to come through. It's going to block it just from that story with your boss. Okay. Anyways, yes, that was just some random thoughts about money. One more bonus tip is that basically too, when you are wanting to remove your money blocks, is always when you think about future things, always say I have more than enough money. So if, like, for instance, property tax comes up and, like, say it's like, you know, July and it comes up next February, you want to say things like, I intend to have more than enough money to pay for the property tax. I always have an abundance of money. So let's say you want to go on vacation next year and your financial situation isn't looking good now. You want to say things like, no, I am going to have a lot of money. I'll get unexpected money. Money will come from somewhere to pay for that vacation, plus more. Okay. So you always want to make sure that when you think in the future of money, that you are intending and creating that you are going to have more than enough money for it, as well as eliminating any feelings of anxiety or doubt and that sort of thing when you do think about money. Now, that's my video for today. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are all amazing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.